The principle of equity was not adhered to in the new public sector pay arrangements, and many public sector workers were left out in the cold. In this context, the massive award to the political class further offends that principle of equity. It is a principle that the People's National Party believes in and had consistently advocated for from the outset of the restructuring process. It has now also come to light that this level of increase will put the salaries of Jamaican elected officials way higher than our peers in the region. That is a situation which it is difficult to justify, given that we have one of the lowest rates of GDP per capita among our regional peers, and Jamaica has not managed to rise out of its chronic low economic growth pattern. This salary mechanism will need to be revisited under the next PNP government. The hollow argument about attracting people to go into politics does not resonate with me. Nowhere in the world is monetary compensation the inducement to enter politics and to give honest service to one's nation. What our country needs at this time is to attract, to motivate, and to retain persons within our teaching profession, our nursing profession, our law enforcement professions, and so on. As Julian Robinson MP has stated, the opposition is of the view that the increases in the salaries of elected officials should be suspended until the outstanding grievances affecting public sector workers are satisfactorily addressed. I did not come into politics to enrich myself, but to serve the people of Jamaica. As leader of the opposition, I must lead by example at a time like this. I will therefore redirect the bulk of the 240+% increase in my pay and retain 20% of that increase and contribute the rest to persons in need and other worthy causes. I intend to do this until the outstanding grouses affecting the public sector workers arising out of the restructuring have been satisfactorily addressed. I am mindful that the leader of the opposition is the only parliamentarian on our side whose package is in the senior executive leadership category. And our other parliamentarians continue to have discussions among themselves as to how best to deal with their situation. I just want to say two things in addition. Firstly, I see that the private sector and the JMEA have come out supporting the early passage of the impeachment bill. I tabled that bill, I think, 2 years ago because I saw the importance of it arising out of the George Wright fiasco, where a parliamentarian beat up a woman with a stool in a public place, and that person still sits in Parliament, and in fact has been placed to sit on the opposition side, much to our disgust. Secondly, I am calling for, again, an increase in the income tax threshold. The 1.5 million was instituted in 2016. That is 7 years ago. Inflation over that period has been over 40%. It is time to adjust that upwards and give our workers a break. Times are hard, people are feeling it, we must do something more for the working class. I would also consider the development of a recall mechanism to ensure accountability for the performance of members of parliament. It is a system which exists in other jurisdictions, and I think it's appropriate that Jamaica look at it seriously at this time. It was one of the measures called for decades ago in the Carlstone report. We need to make sure that politicians maintain the trust and confidence of the people they represent. I hope that what I have said today will assist in that regard.